Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Mercer Row Park in Endicott, New York. This is not my favorite place to activate, but I had some things going on tonight. I didn't have a ton of time to do this activation, so I figured I would swing down here because this is the closest place to my house that I can currently get to. So we're gonna go back over where I activated last time, just over sort of behind these trees over here, and hop on the air and see if we can get some contacts real quick. I don't have a ton of time. I've got some contractors coming over to finish an HVAC job at my house today, so got to get this in and done fairly quickly. And I got to get right over to the mowed area there. You can see the line at the flood retention wall there. That puts me within the activation zone, so I kind of got to be right up against the mowed area there. I'd prefer to be back here in the trees, but then I'm not. Back in between those trees over there would be really cool because there's a lot of places to put antennas. But then I wouldn't be in the activation zone. So we'll go back where I was last time. Man, this grass is wet. Go back over here where I was last time. It's fairly flat over here. So I think we'll set up right about here. I mean, there's the flood retention wall. You can see a squirrel running. And right on the other side of that is the Susquehanna River. So let me get things set up here, and I'll be back in just a minute. All right, so I'm back. Go figure. Quite literally, as soon as I get everything set up, it starts sprinkling. I'm hoping it doesn't rain very hard. This KX2 is not exactly super awesome when it gets wet. Let me take a look at the radar real quick. I mean, there's nothing on the radar, so I have the feeling this is just going to be a little tiny sprinkle. So I should probably be okay. Okay, so make sure we've got everything. I'm going to move up. It's currently 9:55 a.m. You probably can't see that, but it'll be 1400 here pretty soon, quick, in the next 5 minutes. Actually, before I start calling CQ, I'm going to see if I can work my buddy Eric. He's on 7.044. It might be a little late to hear him on 40 meters. He's out near Chicago. We'll try, though. Okay, we can. Just barely. He might not be able to hear me. See, he's calling CQ. He probably can't hear me. I can just barely hear him. And I'm not on the most, I'm on that Gabil today, so I'm not on the most amazing antenna. Got him. $429. Wow. Okay, so we got to park the park in at 1357. All right, so I'm gonna move back up the band where I was before. Man, he was hard to pull out. We're both QRP, so. Try 52. Gotta tune back up. This antenna is resonant, but let's listen for a minute, make sure we've got a clear frequency. And then I think what I'll do is I'll start calling CQ right at 10 a.m., which would be 1400. Wow, I just got a wicked blast. My S meter went through the roof. I've got about a S2 noise floor here right now. There's a lot of power lines and stuff nearby. I'm kind of like right in the middle of town, so there might be a lot of RF noise. So I'm trying something a little bit different today. I've got a 2X diopter on the camera. This camera, because the lens is so big, and it's a fixed focus, the focal point is like way far away. So I've got a bunch of different diopters. I threw one on there. Like I said, this is a 2X, so hopefully that puts everything in focus where we are. If it doesn't, I won't know until I'm done and I'm actually watching the video. But if it doesn't, I will, next time I'll put a 4X on it. But I don't want everything to be blurry crazy. Like, I don't know what the depth of field is going to look like. So that's the one issue with this new camera. I love this new camera, but because of the way the lens is, because it's so big and it's a fixed focal plane, right? It's the focusing depth is way out here someplace. So and that's not just an issue with this camera. That's any of these action cameras with fixed focuses and big sensors. So just be aware of that if you're buying a camera like this. This is a Insta360 Ace Pro. Just be aware that that's, if you're looking at trying to do stuff up close, you're gonna need diopters. All right. So it'll be 10 a.m. in about 15 seconds. So we'll go ahead and call CQ. While I was setting up the antenna, I had a guy walk by and ask me what I was doing. I get that a lot. All right, here we go. I can hear PA system from across the river. That's probably Vestal High School. They probably have a football game or something. So I'm not, as the crow flies, I'm pretty close to the high school. That's actually why we're at the high school. You might be able to hear it in the background, but looks like it hit the RBN. It did. 5 dB. Well, we'll see if we can get on 40. I'm not too sure we're going to get much on 40 meters, but it's a little late. It's 10 a.m. like I said, so. Turn that camera a little bit. Try not to knock it over. Hits look like while we're waiting for calls here. Not great. You probably won't be able to see that, but Massachusetts, Washington, D.C., and Cleveland, it looks like, are I'm up near, actually New Hampshire. Not amazing. And what's the signal noise ratio looks like. They're pretty garbage too, so. We'll call CQ for a little bit on 40, see what happens. If not, we'll switch bands. I can go 30 and 20. And again, this antenna is tiny for 40 meters. It works, but man, one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Joe. K4SP. Virginia. Man, he is booming in. Lots of Virginia. All right, Les. Pretty good little run there. I'll see how many more we can get on 40. I'll probably, like I said, I've got to get home, so I'll probably run this one pretty short. I'd like to get at least 11 or 12. We'll see. Adam. That's a good signal for us. Got a B. Yep. Trying to not to get stung here. I can't tell if it's a honeybee or a yellow jacket. I couldn't see it out of the corner of my eye. I think it's a yellow jacket. I don't particularly feel like getting stung. I mean, if I do, I do. Well, we'll call CQ a little while on 40. And if we don't get any more takers on 40, we'll QSY. I don't know if I want to go to 30 or just go straight to 20. 30 was actually pretty good this morning. So we'll see. Need 4 more for a valid activation. Well, we'll call CQ a few more times here on 40. If we don't get any bites, we'll change bands. I have a feeling this time of day, 20 is probably just starting to wake up, so. What's my battery voltage look like? 11 volts? One more CQ on 40 and then we're going to change to 20 meters. Or should we do 30? No, let's go straight to 20. Okay. Alright, so let's kill the radio here. This is kind of the optimum setup for one of these knee boards. The KX2 is sort of like custom made for this kind of setup. It works so good on this. All right, so let's go ahead and change bands here. Need my nano VNA. Hook my coax. So I will go ahead and turn the camera so you guys can see. So there's the antenna. All right, camera, no falling over. It's hard to set up a tripod in the grass. They don't cooperate. Okay. So, oh, my SWR changed dramatically on this. Interesting. All right, let's go recall 20 meters. Point 2 to 1. I'll take it. In fact, that's so low, I'm not gonna just turn the tuner off on the radio. It was like 1.6 on 40 meters, which is fine, but so once you get used to tuning these antennas, they're actually pretty easy to tune. The first couple times you tune one of these things, though, they are fiddly. If you've never done one of these, let me get you guys situated again so you're not falling over. If you've never done one of those high Q verticals with the coil you got to adjust, man, little itty bitty tiny movements on that coil equate to giant changes in SWR. So once you get it close, you know, you really got to be real light with moving those coils. I mean, just, you know, like a fraction of an inch will change it from, you know, 3 to 1 to 1.5 to 1. I mean, like literally, you know, like a 1/16 of an inch. So, all right. So let's go ahead and fire this thing back up. Let me put 20 CW. Okay. Change bands. Oh, that was loud. Somebody must be. Oh yeah. Somebody's on that frequency, which is fine. Let's move up the band a little ways. That antenna is resonant right now, right about the low 50s. Let's try. Let's do 56. We turn the tuner off. Bypass. .2 to 1, I'll take it. Okay. Make sure you actually hit the RBN. Oh, there's somebody down there. There's somebody down in there. I'm going to QSY. I couldn't hear anybody there before. There's somebody just next to me here. Okay. Still haven't hit the RBN. Let's respot. 7. Okay, that's better. Like I said, when I initially listened and called QRL, I didn't hear anything, but after a little while, I was just hearing somebody just barely above the noise floor. They probably weren't hearing me, because I'm QRP, but, whoops. Changed bands by accident, hit the wrong button. See if we can get anybody on 20. Whew, he is booming in. Wow. There's somebody else down here now. Can you hear that? Yep. There's somebody under me again. QSY up. Everywhere I go, there's somebody. Like, I keep changing frequencies, and every time I change a frequency, I get followed. Oh man. I'm not home. Sarah should. Hold on. My contractor is supposed to be there at noon, said he's going to be there in 20 minutes. I'm like, dude. All right, let's change my frequency on POTA again. Every time I move, somebody's right there, and it drives me crazy. I'm sure they can't hear me. Spot. All right, let's change our spot. There's somebody right. You hear the clicking? Somebody's right next to me. I need 3 more. It would help if I didn't have to keep changing frequencies every 5 seconds. Like I said, they probably can't hear me because I'm running a compromised antenna and I'm running QRP. Eric. So that'll be a park to park. Ooh, he's booming in. Tom. He's booming in. That's 9. Need 1 more. Signal reports are good on 20, so if I can stay on a frequency for any amount of time, we should be able to get some calls here. Missed a letter. All right, we'll call CQ a few more times. That gives us 10 right there, so that's a valid activation. All right, we'll call CQ 1 or 2 more times. See if we get any bites. If not, we'll pack things up. We've got a valid activation +1, so I'm happy. And like I said, I got to get home because my contractor's on the way. So I know how to do all the HVAC stuff. My problem is I'm not EPA 608 certified. I have EPA 609 certification, which is like for mobile refrigerant. But I can't buy commercial or residential refrigerant, which is obnoxious. Because air conditioning is air conditioning is air conditioning. It all works the same way, but whatever. There's somebody, hear the clicks? There's somebody right there next to me. See, now I'm hearing CW. Way down in the weeds, but I'm hearing somebody. So I think there's somebody like right on top of me yet again. I can hear I can listen, you can hear there's a station like right next to me. All right, we'll call CQ 1 or 2 more times. If we don't get anybody else, we'll wrap it up. So we've been half an hour. That's including changing frequencies multiple times. So my first call was at 1357, and that was a park to park with Eric. My first actual call was at 1403, and it's 1427 right now. Is that Kelly? I think it is. That's more like it. Let's listen to the state, see if I'm right. Nope. Somebody's calling. Somebody's right there. Somebody's right under me. Like when I say right under me, I mean like right. Like I'm on 14 at 0555. They're probably on 53 or 54. Hear it? Calling CQ test. I'm not sure what contest is going on today, but that would explain the crazy busy band conditions. All right, let's call ahead and call QRT. Okay, I'm not gonna fight contest stations. It's not worth the effort. So we got 11, 12, 13, 14 in the log. I'll take it. Today was kind of a weird one. I expected 40 to be better than it was, and I did not expect 20 to be as good as it was. Band conditions are getting better now as, flip my screen down. Band conditions are getting better now as the summer is leaving and fall. We're actually in fall now, and the band conditions generally get much better as fall progresses here. So this Gabil antenna is not great when conditions are garbage, but when conditions are good like they are today, this thing works quite well. And it's actually pretty easy to tune. Like I said, if you've never used one of these before, it's really high Q. So, you move this coil just a fraction of an inch and it changes your SWR dramatically. So just be prepared for that. If you buy an antenna like this, just understand that going in. Any of these loaded coil antennas are crazy high Q, and little tiny adjustments make drastic differences. But yeah, all in all, worked pretty well. I'll take it. So as long as the weather continues to hold, I will continue to come out here and shoot videos like this. I don't know, I don't know how long I've got before the snow flies. It's hard to say. It can snow by mid-October here. Last winter we hardly had any snow at all. So yeah, I'll keep shooting videos. Although I will say that, man, after watching Forrest KI7 QCF's latest video with his James Bond intro, I might as well just pack it up, man. I can't compete with that. Forrest, that was an awesome video. That thing was amazing. Keep up the awesome work. Yeah, so anyway, folks, appreciate all the hunters. Thank you so much, everybody. And as always, until next time, 7-3.